Hello, and welcome to week 20 in this Stitch Circle Show challenge. A warm welcome to all of you who are new here, and a warm welcome to all of you who still is hanging on here on this challenge. And it's hard to believe we already have reached week 20. If you're new here, look below here in the description and you will find a playlist, and look at week 1 where you can find all the information about this challenge and what the Dogma Rule is for a thing in this stitch thing we're doing here. There also is a link for how to sew a cover, and there is a link for the Facebook group if you want to participate or be a member in the Facebook group, where you can see what other members are doing and you can show what you're doing yourself. You have to apply and you have to answer 3 questions to be let in, and if you don't do that, I won't let you in. That is very simple. But it is so lovely, nice, fine, joyful, and all the fine words I can say to see all the embroideries that been doing, people along members have been doing there. I've really enjoyed it, and thank you for that. I think this was the short version. Yeah, but those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisbeth and I'm Danish, and therefore my English is a little sometimes, but therefore it is so good I can show you what it is we're doing. But there also are a lot of other things going on at my channel, and if you're not into stitching, there are videos of jelly printing, journaling, making journals, making bookbinding, doing both fabric and paper collages and all sorts of things. So look for the playlist and find what interests you. Oh, and that was the thing we have to go through every time here. But let us start with what I have found out for this week 20. This is my book here, and this is where we ended up with week 19, a Kintsugi inspired embroidery. So now my book is ready here, and I will just put it away for now and tell you what the Dogma Rules is for today. And I think I can come in closer here, yeah, perhaps there. The first Dogma Rule is find 2 pieces of fabric in your favorite colors. And also you need a piece of background fabric in some off-white sand or creamy color. That was rule number 1. Rule number 2 is to sew these 2 pieces together. If you will sew them together like this, or you will just make an overlap, that is up to you. You decide what to do. But when you have sewed them together, you trace a circle like we have done so many times before. And rule number 3, today we only is to do the feather stitch, and I want you to sew a spiral. A spiral is something like that, or from outside and in. You can decide if you're doing it from inside and out. And the stitches you can do as big or as small, and vary them as much as you can, but just the normal single feather stitch. That was rule number 3. And the 4th rule is use 6 different kinds of threads you think look nice to your fabric, and take them all up here like I'm doing now. Yeah, I have to find the last one here. And then you measure 50 centimeters. Yeah, perhaps 50 is too much, but we can see about 50 centimeters. They have to be the same length, about the same length. And then you cut them up like this. And perhaps you will have to do it again when you start your embroidery. So you just pick randomly one of these 6 threads here and say, yeah, this is the one I'm going to sew with now. And when you sewed that up, you just randomly take the next and the next and the next, and suddenly you have used all 6. And I haven't done this for myself before. I am going to do it now. So I don't know how long I will do with these 6 strands, but if they aren't enough here, you just do exactly the same again. Take all 6 threads, cut 40-50 centimeters off, and pick one random, and so and so and so. That is the 4th rule for this week number 20. Yeah, and of course I will write them here below so you can read them also afterwards if it is a little confusing what I'm saying. I don't hope so, but you never know. I think I want to sew my 2 together and turn them over. So let me see here. I can place them like this. And there are so many loose threads hanging there. This is some leftover from my friend who dyes all her fabric herself. And I'm so lucky I get all her leftovers. So I will just line them up. There and there. Mine is the same size, but you don't have to make them the same size. One of them could be bigger than the other. Doesn't matter, as long as you make a square, you can trace your circle in. So I will just do the invisible basting, and that means, let me see if I can come a little closer here. Yeah, I just come up in both layers, and then I take the smallest back stitch you can, just over a couple of threads, and you come up a centimeter or so in front or ahead of you. And again, just the tiniest little stitch there on the back and ahead of you. And if you really want to be sure that your line will be straight, you can of course mark it up so you will know this is where you're going to sew, or you can just eyeball it. That is up to you. But again, a small stitch back and come forward a little further, about a centimeter or so. Now this pin is nipping me here, so away with that. I'm not nipping here, pinching. I think I know sometimes I'm inventing my own words. I perhaps I've invented a new language called English, so that something between English and Danish. But I know you can see what I'm doing, so I will sew this to the end and turn it over and finger press it. Or if you have an iron, you can press the seams. So I have sewed this together, so I will just, if you have an iron by your side, iron it, but I don't have that. So I will just finger press it here, and I can make my finger a little wet and just press it down. this. Turn it the other way around. There. And now I will have to trace a circle. And what can we use for that? I have a template like this. And since my book are about this 15.5 centimeters, this is only 10. So I think I want a bigger thing. So I will take my, I have this thing here for when you're baking, and let me see how much this is. This is about 12. So if I trace around that, I think that would be fine. So I will just take a pencil and do it very light. And I think this, you can use an eraser, a pen that is erasable. It disappears by yourself, or you can use something that when you set your iron on, it disappears. That's up to you, but I think I will just do it very light, and then I will, when I start my circle, I think I would do it from the outside, and then I will sew over the line. And I think with this graphite pencil, it is like you can erase it with a eraser, and you can, if you do it like this, or like this, it flies off, or it dusts off, or what. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but it would, most of it would disappear. Yeah, I think I can see it here now, like this. So away with all these gadgets here. Yeah. But do I want to sew it first and then put it on my background, or cut it out and sew it on my background? Yeah, that is also up to you what you want to do. I think it is nicer to have 2 layers to sew through, so perhaps I think I would cut it out and just place it here on my fabric instead. Yeah, I will go for that, but you don't have to do it like this. You can do it the way you want to do it. But I will just cut it out and place it on my background fabric. Okay, so the circle is cut out, and I just placed it as centered as I can, and this I will also cut out so it can be on my page. And even though I save a lot of things, this is too small, so they will go in the bin. But to keep it in place, I will just give it a dab of glue here with my glue stick. You can put pins if you want to, but I always seems to get pinched, or what it is called, by the pins I have. Perhaps I should buy some smaller ones, but I don't have the small applique ones because I haven't done much applique. But yeah. And I think I forgot to say, when I sewed these two together, I just used an ordinary machine sewing thread. So, and the feather stitch is a lovely stitch to sew, so I can show it to you here. You come up somewhere, and then you go down at the same height as where you come up. Go through and make a loop here, and come up in between the two, between the line there in the middle of that, and this is the fly stitch, and then you can sew them either from left to right or from right to left. That is up to you, but I do it like this. Then I go over here, and then I go over at the other side about the same height as here, and then I come up in between the two lines there and go down again to the right, out there, come up in the middle there at the same level, and make a loop and come up in the middle a little further down like this. There isn't much room here on my little piece. There and there and there, and then you can just end it there. That is the simple feather stitch, and this is a stitch I want you to do. If you make them longer or wider, that is up to you, but don't make them double or triple or go crazy. That would be for another project. Only this single row of feather stitches here. Okay, so let us start. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to hit the record button, so I have been starting up there, but it would be exactly the same as I started up there. I come up here, and then I go a little to the right and in the middle, and then I go a little here to the left and take as close to the edge of the circle as I can and come up again there. You can see again there, and as close to the edge as you can, but this is the way I'm doing it. Of course you can go a little over the edge and say one of the legs of the feathers there is going over the edge. That's up to you, but so that is quite simple. Here you can see it. Now I'm really running out of thread, so I can show you how I would change my thread. There was this one, and I think I could do another one. So you go from left to right and right to left, and that is the way. And now I think I will take the last stitch here, and I will just go down and pull the thread through and make my loops sit there quiet and still until I can thread my new, put my new thread in the needle, make some knots, and now you will just come up as you do if you haven't been changing your thread, and then you can pull in this thread here on the back until your stitch sits nice there, and you can always secure the ends afterwards. But again, and this one I just picked randomly from the 6 strands I had. It is such a nice stitch to sew. I really like to sew this one. Whoops, and there I can see I twisted my loop and that doesn't look right. There. Don't pull too much in your thread. They are to be like small arches or curved. If you pull too much, it would just be some straight ones, and I don't think that looks quite as nice as these here do. But I think I will sew this round here up, and then I can show you what I will be doing when I go in here. Sometimes up here I think I will start to go in. It is like my circle has a little top there. Perhaps I should cut a little of it off there. But I will sew all around there and until I come up here, and then I will go in for a circle. And how much space you want to have between your stitches, that is up to you. You can see I have been nearly all the way around, and I have changed thread there. So now I will start to go a little in, and it's the same I do, but I will end up with a spiral, hopefully. And how far in you will go now decides how much space you will have between the two lines of stitches, and that is up to you if you will make a very big spiral with small space between the lines, or you will make a bigger space between the lines in the spiral. But there, yeah, you have to decide that. So I think I will see how it goes. I want a little distance between, but I think I will make them quite close. We'll see how it ends up. I really like to sew this stitch here. So perhaps something like this with a space between. If you really like to sew it, you can place them totally close to each other, the rows, but that will perhaps be a little too much. It isn't much thread here if you take about these 40 or 50 centimeters, but that is also what makes it interesting, that you have different kinds of colors all along here, and that is what I think looks nice. This is the fourth thread I'm on. And now I nearly have to change again. But that is what looks nice. I think I can do one more, and now I will just go in here like this, and then I will take this one here. think there's a knot there where it's not supposed to be. So there, and I will come up. Yeah. And then I can pull at this thread here and secure it when I'm done with all my sewing here. So around and round, and don't get dizzy, hopefully. Oh, that was not right. I can see. And I will just start all over. But I can fix it. So I will just come up here in the loop. There we go. And then we go out here to the right and in the middle. And there we go again. To the left. And make the loop. There we go again. And now I think it will give itself all the way around here, the rest of it. But yeah, there I'm coming a little too close perhaps, but now it's just to do it like this. I think that was better. It is not often I pick my stitches up, but if there's something that really bothers my eye, I will pick it up, because there is no reason for doing something that you can't stand to look at. That is perhaps a little harsh to say, but the Dogma Rules isn't about not being allowed to pick something up you don't like. There is no rules for that. I know some people who are slow stitching and the stitch meditation or the other things, they have rules about that, but with that thing I don't have a rule. So I will sew this thread up and the last thread up, and then we can see what it looks like and how far I have come around, and then I will have to make a bunch of 6 threads again and see how many of them I will be using. So I will just stitch a little further. So now I have sewn up all my 6 different threads, so I've just made a strand with the 6 different ones again and picked it random one, and this was this one here. But you can see how nice it is going round and round. If you're feeling insecure about making a nice spiral, or you want to make a nice spiral, of course you're welcome to trace it if you want to, but it is nice just to sew, I think. And perhaps one thing I regret that I haven't done is this going up to here. I think it looks a little strange with that thing there, but perhaps I can do it afterwards. I will think about that. But I will keep on stitching until I reach the middle somewhere. But I really like the look of it, and I like the colors, and yeah, it is also my favorite color, so that is perhaps not so strange. I like that. But I will sew a little more and show it to you. Oh, done with my spiral, and I think it looks so yummy here. Some of you perhaps think it was annoying to change threads so often, but that is what makes it exciting, I think. and the random thing about just pick one thread, sew it up, pick the next and the next and the next, and then you have done all 6 threads. And for me it wasn't enough. I did it again, and then I used, I think, 3 more threads around. But of course it would depend on how big your circle are and how close you're doing your stitches, and there are many ifs and buts here. But do it like you fancy to do it. I will cut mine up in a square so I can put it in a book. And I think I will start by cutting this edge clean here. Like this. I think my blade is a little, it needs to be changed. It's because I have cut into my ruler and it doesn't like that. So let me see here, if I turn this around I can measure at the same time here. And if I make it 14, I think it will be there. Now these 2 lines are straight, so about there. You could of course just cut it with your scissor, but I don't know why I bothered to do all this, because it doesn't matter so much. That this fabric here is an awful one, it is fraying a lot. So let me cut it there. Come on, work with me. There it was. I'm off to the bin with that. They are so expensive, those blades here. And I cut a lot of thick felt up with it, and it dulls it too. So it isn't the best. So just let it fray there, where it is fraying. So wait with that, and before I put it in my book I will have to take a picture of it, because my book is so fat and boggly, so I can't take nice pictures. And then I will have to decide if I want to have it this way or this way. But we will see. Oh, sorry for shaking you. I think I want it this way, so I will again take my double-sided tape, turn it around, and I will turn it over and take a piece of that. There. And I have already written the rules on my page in the book. And now I come to this part I hate doing while I'm filming, because it always goes like this. I can't get the back up here, and the tape is coming up also. So if it doesn't succeed the first time here, I will do it. Yeah, I will do it by myself and put it in my book and show it to you. Doesn't that look nice? But if you want to sew it in, you can also sew it in your book if you have a book. And especially if you have a book with many pages, so you can choose to have something only on one side of your page and not on the back side of your page. And also, you don't need a book. You can put them in a box. You could sew it on a scroll. You can make a scroll and sew them on, and you can take a big piece of old sheet and sew them on there and fold it up. And yeah, there are many ways you can do this. But this one I really, really like. But of course, it's my colors again, so that isn't perhaps so strange. I will take some close-ups at the end of the video. I hope you found this week's challenge exciting. I really think it was a nice one, this one here. And I would ask you to, if you participate in this challenge here, and you are a member on Facebook, show your images there, or your embroideries there, so we other can see what you have been doing. And if you are one of those persons who don't like Facebook very much and are on Instagram instead, I have 2 hashtags you can use, and the one is Stitch Circle Show Challenge and the other hashtag is Dogma Embroidery. Use those 2 hashtags, then I also am able to see what you are doing there, and you can also tag me there. And try to share the challenge with people you think would be interested in doing this. It is, the more the merrier, as I said, and there must be other than the ones we are already who could be interested in this. So please share this with other people. And I would say, if you have been liking this video today or this stitching today, and you have been inspired and perhaps learned some tips and tricks, please give my video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I will be really grateful for that, to spread the good news here about this project. So for now, I will only say take care and be creative, and see you next Thursday. So bye bye for now.